To get my Christmas tree candle going again because it smells so good. I actually used a fake tree this year, and so I don't have that smell of a Christmas tree in the house, so I really wanted to use that. Hello, welcome back to the Be Do Knit Vlogmas 2023, and today is day 19. I don't know where the time is going. Actually, I'm a little exhausted, honestly, but I am so excited to see what all is in. I'm so excited to see what is next in this fade. I feel like the last week I've been so surprised. I thought it was going to be this pink to purple, maybe red, but then stopped there, but it got into blues and greens. So I have no idea what's happening now on day 19. So let's open her up. Oh my goodness. So it just keeps getting more and more green. So here is day 19. And today's color is called Tannenbaum. O Tannenbaum, die Kreuz in deine Blätter. I don't know if I'm singing that right, but it's what I learned when I was a kid in Germany. So I think I've mentioned it before, but I grew up from 2nd to 4th grade in Germany. And when I came back to the US, my mom, my sister, and I like to sing. And kind of my whole family is musical. My mom and dad met in the church choir in Brooklyn Center, I think, Minnesota. They met in the church choir, or early in their relationship, they sang in a church choir. Then when we lived in Germany, my sister and I were ushers for on the army base where we lived. My sister Vicky was in the musical Oklahoma. So we were in Germany, and she was in this musical Oklahoma. Anyway, she played a lead character, Lori, and Marianne and I, my other sister, we would just sit there in the audience and we'd watch rehearsals, and we just thought she was the coolest up on stage. And then, surprise, surprise, I became a theater major. So anyway, it was so funny going all over the town where we lived in Germany, trying to find these American costumes, like cowboy Western kind of gear to wear as ushers for this musical Oklahoma. It was so fun. Anyway, so we just had a blast. And I don't know where I was going with this story, honestly. Oh, Tannenbaum. So when we got back to the United States, my mom would kind of not force, but she would ask my sister Marianne and I to sing at her church all the time.
And so for Christmas services, we'd sing Silent Night, and we'd sing part of it in English, and then we'd sing part of it in German. And then Tannenbaum was another one. So, and then even at holidays at our house, she'd have us like stand up in the living room and sing in German. It was like we were her little performers. So anyway, that is the truth right there. So anyway, Tannenbaum, whenever I see that word, it makes me think of performing for my mother at church or in the house for relatives, whatever. So yeah, O Tannenbaum, die Grützen deine Blätter. I don't even know if those are real German words, and I don't know what they mean. But I could, yeah, that's what's stuck in my memory. So anywho, yeah, today I think I showed you the advent calendar from a Homespun House. If you didn't recognize that and you're new here, this is a fade from a Homespun House, and these are the last 3 days in the fade. There are many more in the fade, but these are the last 3 days. So it was Tannenbaum, and then fresh cut spruce, and then before that was sleigh ride. And here they are. Aren't they pretty? Oh my goodness, those colors together. So pretty. So these are all going into a brioche wrap that I am designing. I am not showing it to you today because I have very little accomplished in the last day since we last checked in on it. But maybe I'll check in on that in a couple days or something. So elephant in the room, because it is such a big chunky sweater. This is the Woolly Young Thing from Wool and the Gang. So this is 100% Peruvian wool, upcycled. It's actually a yarn called Heal the Wool. And it is from Wool and the Gang. And this thing, it was supposed to be a really long sleeve, or like to here maybe, cardigan. But for some reason, I don't know if I bought yarn for a certain size and then I went up a size, because I do like things oversized. This is really oversized. And then I was running out of yarn. And so I just quickly modified. And actually I made the sleeves. Oh, you know what? I made the sleeves wider because I always, with Wool and the Gang and I didn't want to make a jacket that had sleeves that were this tight. Just in general, I like sleeves. I almost like a dolman sleeve. I really like a wide sleeve, especially under my armpit. I do not want anything hugging under my armpit unless it's, I don't know. I do have sweaters where I don't mind that, but for a hand knit sweater that's going to be hot, I just can't, I can't do that. So I was making the sleeve wider, and then I ran out of yarn because I made it wider. So I just stopped short and then started doing some, I started doing the ribbing, and it kind of turned into more of like a vest jacket, or, you know, kind of more of like a dolman vest type jacket. And I loved it. So this was my first foray into modifications. And so, yeah, really loved this modification. I wore this as, like, I would wear a little zip-up jacket. I haven't worn it in a while. That's why I'm saying in past tense. I wore this little zip-up jacket underneath it with even a shirt or something under that. So this was just kind of like this kind of shell that went over in the winter here. It's really cold. So, but if I had a jacket underneath, hat, mittens, everything else, this is real warm. In fact, I'm going to be taking it off soon because it's too warm. But yeah, these big chunky yarns like this, to me, it's not something to wear indoors. It's definitely go out skiing, go out snowshoeing, go outdoors for, you know, I don't know, a holiday lighting festival or something, or ice skating, anything outdoors in the winter, I would wear it like that as a jacket, not as an indoor something or other. So this is coming off. Then I told you yesterday that I got some dresses from Not Perfect Linen. I didn't like the skirt because when it was a skirt and it was lower, it just felt so puffy. But I don't mind it as a dress to have all of this volume. I really don't mind that as a dress. So, you know, underarms are good. There's plenty of room. There's pockets. This one has buttons. The one yesterday didn't have buttons. But I just think this is great. Here's the back. And very happy with it. So, and the inspiration for getting this dress was actually Amy Gilles from La Bien-Aimée. It was actually her wearing a dress like this with her Kumo sweater. And I was like, I want that exact outfit. It's just so cool. And so I will maybe wear it with my Kumo sweater eventually. I'm not going to wear it with that right now because I'm hot. Let's just face it. I am hot. So, and it's not time of life. You might be wondering that, and rightly so. But that is maybe around the block, but not here yet. So it's just, I just run hot ever since I was a little kid. So this is a store-bought cardigan, but you know, this is one where I don't mind that it goes right under the arm. I think it's just, it's soft and it's not super hot because it's not, maybe it's wool, I don't know. It's just soft and lightweight. So maybe I need to make some lightweight cardis, knitted cardis that are kind of tight fitting like this that would go good with a big full dress, skirt, whatever. Because I do like a short, a very cropped cardi that I can wear over dresses. So this might be the ticket. So that is that. And then I thought I would tell you, I told you I bought some stuffing from the yarnery when I was there the other day to fill my Christmas balls. So this is the Arnie and Carlos Rocking Horse Christmas Ball, and the pattern is in their book called 55 Christmas Balls to Knit. Great gift for a knitter. If you're watching this and you are not a knitter and you have a knitter in your life, that is a great gift because it's the gift that keeps on giving. You give them the gift, they make gifts for other people, and they just keep making Christmas balls. It's like an addiction. It's hard to stop making Christmas balls. Although past Christmas, I don't tend to make them as much, but around the Christmas season, I can always think of somebody I want to give a Christmas ball to, honestly. So you knit, you know, you start with, you know, a certain number of stitches on your double pointed needles, and then you keep increasing, and then you get to the motif, and you just follow that motif, and then you make the decreases at the top. When you get to the top, I don't remember where I stuffed. I think I closed the top and then put the stuffing in the bottom. And so you just, I got this. My mom purchased some kind of synthetic something or other. It wasn't wool, but this is actually wool that I purchased. And there's maybe like a little plant matter in there. You can see. Hopefully it's not a moth. I'm sure it's not. Last year I became obsessed because I thought I had a moth, and then I just like threw out a bunch of yarn. I don't even know if what I was on there was plant matter or a moth, but I just freaked out, okay? And now that's why the other day when I showed you my stash, it's all in plastic bags with silicone packets that keep it from getting moldy. Because I'm so terrified of getting moths. I threw out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of yarn last year. Ugh, it's still a nightmare to think about. But anyway, yeah, so you stuff, I think I stuffed it from the bottom, and then I made this little chain loop at the top, and there you go. And this chain loop is super easy. I just have this tiny crochet hook that I use to fix projects, and I use that, and we were good to go. So that is that. And then I also wanted to show you, what do I want to show you? I think I'll show you my Spincycle yarn. So this color is, what even is this color? Melancholia. So this is dyed in the wool. Melancholia, American wool, 100% American wool, super washed, 200 yards, sport weight. So that's what this one is. And then this red that I got, and I'll show you in just a second, is Devilish Grin. And that one is also same, dyed in the wool, 100% wool, super washed, 200 yards, sport weight. And that looks like this. So you can see inside this one, it's kind of like purpley, and inside this one is yellowish. So it'll be interesting to use these. They look a little different, but they always do because it's Spincycle. So I'm excited to use these in a pattern along with this one. And the main color is this. And this is also Spincycle. So I am not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm kind of in swatch mode with this. And I made a few swatches. I didn't really like what I was doing. And so I'm still kind of playing around. I've got an idea for a stripey pattern. Kind of into stripes right now. And so I've got a stripe thing going on, but we'll see. I just wanted to share like where I find some inspiration for patterns lately. One thing is these Barbara Walker stitch dictionaries. So if you are someone who's interested in designing, I cannot recommend these enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And each one kind of has a different, I don't know, flavor, I guess, or focus. So some of them have lace patterns, stitch patterns. Some of them have cable stitch patterns and mosaic and all kinds of different things. So when I do my swatching, I might pick up one of these books and get some inspiration and then just kind of swatch using this yarn. Because yeah, sometimes, like Jonna said, and Knit Together with Kim and Jonna, sometimes yarn and a pattern don't make a baby. So I don't want to do that. I have designed a sweater in the past that the yarn and the pattern didn't make a baby, and I just let that thing go. I made that sweater 3 times last winter. If you were watching my Instagram, you may have seen that. And I thought I was going to release it, and then I just didn't. It didn't sit right on my body. I think it was the yarn and the pattern didn't make a baby. I think that pattern would be better in a drapey material, and that what I was using was not drapey. So that happens. So anyway, these books are a great resource. I'd say this is the tool of the day, are these Barbara Walker Treasury of Knitting Patterns. I mean, what an amazing thing to have these books as a designer. It's just a trove of ideas and yeah, so. And sometimes I like to look at magazines or art books. My husband is an artist and a designer, He's worked on furniture, fashion, landscape design, all kinds of different things. And so he's got 2 huge bookshelves downstairs that are just floor to ceiling with art books and magazines. So I love to look there too for inspiration. So one of the things I love is this magazine called Apartamento. And on the spine, there are these great patterns. So, I mean, how fun just to get inspiration from looking at the spine of a magazine, you know? Like I don't know. It makes me want to do a knit design with some of these patterns. So, or try to replicate it or be inspired by it and tweak it a little bit. So anyway, yeah, Apartamento. And then also just looking at knitting magazines. I get this one, the Rowan magazine, and it's just fun to look at what other people are doing and be inspired by them. And, you know, whether it's just one little detail of the design, like, oh, I love that side seam, I'm going to try that in a pattern. Or, oh, I love that rolled neckline, you know. Other podcasters. So Fruity Knitting, I've had so much inspiration from hearing Andrea talk about her modifications for patterns and talking to designers and how they design knitwear and what they think of. And anyway, just inspiration can come from anywhere. Another great tool if you are interested in designing knitwear is this book, Knitting from the Top. And I know Andrea Mowry has talked about this book as one of her kind of treasured design books, and it is so great. It basically goes through how to construct every single type of sweater. And it tells you, like, start here, measure your body from here to here, and do this many stitches. And, you know, I mean, it's just very instructive. So, very helpful resource for designers. Knitting from the Top, also from Barbara Walker. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you a couple of those books. And then of course, I just got this one, which I love, West Knits. Oh my gosh, think about that. Absolutely inspiring and crazy and fun. I cannot wait to make my Penguono. I want it to be that oversized, but I gotta kind of figure out what yarn I'm using, because as it stands, I'm using a fingering weight and then I'm holding it with alpaca. This is my little yarn bag that's holding my Penguono stuff. And I don't think it's drapey enough. I don't know. I'm holding it with this alpaca, what is it called? It's Kama Rose, Midnatazole, baby alpaca, 54% baby alpaca, 36% tencel, and then 10% merinold. But it is not the same. I mean, people say you can swap out Surrey and mohair, but mohair is finer. It's thinner. I feel like the material is a little more drapey than when you pair a fingering weight yarn with this. Just my opinion. So, yeah, I was working with these, and it's just a little thicker than I thought it would be, but you know what? It's one of those things, like, do I keep going or do I switch? I think I'm going to switch to mohair and just see how that behaves and check my gauge, and I might start this back panel over again. This is the back panel of my Penguono. So we shall see if that's what I do, but I'm just kind of noodling on that for a while. So yeah, I think maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. There are still days ahead, and this is just the 19th. We still have until the 24th, so I got to save some things to talk about in the coming days. But it was great to check in with you. Hope you're all well and enjoying this Advent season. Thanks for hopping over to my channel and watching this video. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.